Tonight, the latest on 2 deaths in Lincoln, one a homicide, the other is being called suspicious.
Both happening this week. So far, one person is in custody for the homicide. Today, police gave more of a timeline of what they think happened. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleider has the latest.
Friday morning, LPD held another press conference to give further details about the homicide and suspicious death, including a full timeline of events so far. In order to make these events as clear as possible, we've put them all in order chronologically. First, on Monday, police say 55-year-old William-Wright was seen entering the Motel 6 on Northwest 12th and Bond Street with the man who is now known to be the first victim. Police believe the man rented a room at that motel and was then killed somewhere between 2:30 and 8:30 p.m. that day, though they aren't sure if he was killed at the motel or if his body was moved. The next day, on Tuesday, August 30th, Wright was seen leaving the Motel 6 early in the morning and returned around noon for a few hours. After this, Wright is believed to have eventually come in contact with a person of interest who led him to 61-year-old Ronald-George. Sometime between 10 p.m. that night and 2 a.m. the next morning, Wednesday, August 31st, George was killed with a knife. Police arrived early that morning where they found George deceased and began their investigation. Following interviews with witnesses and persons of interest that morning, police determined the last person to see Ronald-George alive was William Wright. Police say Wright admitted to them he stabbed George in the neck 3 times. Wright was arrested at the People's City Mission Wednesday night around 7:15 p.m. He is currently charged with second-degree murder and use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony for that homicide. From the information police received during their interviews and investigations on Wednesday, they were brought to the Motel 6 at Northwest 12th and Bond, where they found the first victim's body nearby. There is not yet a confirmed cause of death or what the first victim's relationship with Wright was, but Wright is a person of interest in the victim's death. Police have recovered other weapons besides the knife used to kill George, but are not yet sure if any of them were involved in the killing of that first victim. We spoke with Pastor Tom, who said all 3 of the people involved in this case had been to the People's City Mission. He says he and everyone at the shelter are baffled by the situation.
I knew them personally. They'd come in my office from time to time for counseling and various things, and we're just flabbergasted. And I think many in the guests here in our shelter are also very pensive, and they're not sure why either. And as I've shared before, the homeless community is very tight, and these people were well known in the homeless community, all 3 of them, and so it was a tough thing.
Pastor Tom said they would be holding a memorial service next Wednesday at 7 to give some closure. Reporting in Lincoln, this is Matthew Mittleider, Channel 8 News.
And of course, we'll keep you updated if we learn anything new. If you have any information, make sure you call Lincoln Police or Crime Stoppers.